bush hog Bob. We can handle any size job. Dial 368-2210 after 5 p.m. As for back old Joe, bush hog Bob. I was reading the bargain browser trying to find myself a deal. Someone to paint my house or sell me an automobile. In the handyman section I came across this ad. I read it close and this is what it said. Back old Joe, bush hog Bob. We can handle any size job. Dial 368-2210 at 5 p.m. Ask for back old Joe, bush hog Bob. So I picked up a telephone, got the old dial tone. I punched the number and the phone rang twice. I heard a crackling noise, then somebody's voice started speaking on the answering device. This is back old Joe, bush hog Bob. Oh, we can handle any size job. Dial 368-2210 at 5 p.m. Just ask for back old Joe, bush hog Bob. Play it, Michelle. Joe brought over his backhoe last Friday after work. He dug my drain and moved 6 tons of dirt. Then Bob came over yesterday and mowed 10 bales of hay. He handed me his card, but he got paid. Guess what it said? Back old Joe and bush hog Bob. Hey, we can handle any size job. Dial 368-2210 at the 5 p.m. Ask for back old Joe, bush hog Bob. So if your grass is knee high, if your weeds are tall, Bob won't rip you off or jack the price. If you need a ditch dug, just give old Joe a call. He won't do you in, he'll do you right. That's back old Joe and bush hog Bob. They can handle any size job. Dial 368-2210 after 5 p.m. Just ask for back old Joe, bush hog Bob. All right, back old Joe and bush hog Bob. Here's a song about a lawyer and a farmer. It goes like this. Mr. Philip Stanton, Esquire, was a lawyer in our town. He defended all the bad guys. He was known for miles around. He drove a big Mercedes and wore expensive suits. And when he'd grace the courtroom, he'd very seldom lose. One morning, an old farmer was called to take the stand. He showed up in bibbed overalls, had a straw hat in his hand. They swore him in and he sat down. The DA asked his name. It's Levi West, was his reply. Don't expect that'll ever change. Now it happened that old Levi West was a witness to a crime. And the man who did the robbery was Philip Stanton's client. The lawyer planned to make the farmer out to be a fool. And his harsh words to the old man nearly knocked him off his stool. Now, you testified you saw the robber, Mr. Levi West. But it was 10 p.m. in a parking lot, and you're the only eyewitness. You were several yards away, sir. Do your eyes still see that good? Are you telling this court you could recognize my client from where you stood? The old man slowly nodded and softly said, that's right. Then tell me, sir, the lawyer said, just how far can you see at night? The old man's face turned crimson red and he clutched his old straw hat. Then he said, by golly, I can see the moon, smart aleck. Now tell me, how far is that? Always good to have a song about the underdog winning, you know. Let's do an instrumental for you here. A Mexican song called El Comanchero. Bit of the old El Comanchero. I want to do you another song. I'll get this guitar in tune a little better. I want to do you another song that's kind of a funny song. This is a new thing that I've had around a little while. Talks about going bowling one night and an adventure song, I guess you might say. It's called The Brunette and the Blonde. Well, me and Joe went to the bowling alley late one night. Joe got himself a Coke to drink, and I got me a Sprite. We sat down to lace up our shoes in chairs beside the wall and walked the brunette and the blonde, a couple of living dolls. When Joe looked up and saw that blonde, I thought the boy would faint, and my knees turned to butter when they took the adjoining lane. The brunette smiled at me and then she said, "Is this lane free?" I said, "Oh, well, Joe answered her for me." Brunette and that blonde were built like Playboy centerfolds. They'd giggle when they'd get a split, then wink at me and Joe. They got us so excited, we kept rolling gutter balls. If either one hit the pins that night, I really don't recall. Well, when their game was over, we went over to their lane. Joe asked if we could take them home, and they both said, "Okay." We drove them to their condo where we got invited in, and 7 shots of Novocaine could not remove our grins. One thing led to another, but then romance hit a snag, 'cause those 2 babes turned out to be 2 guys dressed up in drag. Oh, please don't tell our friends about the brunette and the blonde. We don't want anyone to know we dated Steve and Ron. All right. Yeah, I deviated a little bit from the program there. Let's see if we can play another instrumental that I was going to do earlier and hadn't got on. Let's see if we can do a little bit of the Cincinnati Rag. A little bit of the Cincinnati Rag. You know, in the bluegrass music field, there's always songs about, you know, American things like apple pie and the old home place. A lot of songs about the old home place. A lot of songs about Mama, too. And I decided I'd write my own song about Mama. This is one called Mama's Not Dead, She Just Playing Possum. Last night, Mama called us all to her bedside. Said, children, I'm tired, I'm suffering and weak. In just a short while, I'll be called to heaven. Then she closed her eyes and fell fast asleep. We waited all night, but Mama kept breathing. We stood by her bed with tears in our eyes. Then Mama got up in time to cook breakfast. It's hard to be sad 'cause Mama did not die. Oh, Mama's not dead, she's just playing possum. Her soul is at rest in her rocking chair. She's found a new way to get some attention. Mama's not dead, she's just playing possum. Now when Mama came down with gallbladder trouble, she thought she heard angels in her hospital room. But it was only the nurse on the intercom system, checking to see if her bedpan was full. I said, Mama's not dead, she's just playing possum. Her soul is at rest in her rocking chair. She's found a new way to get some attention. Mama's not dead, she's just playing possum. Mama's not dead, she's just playing possum. All right, Mama. Mama's not dead, she's just playing possum. Well, my mother's 82 years old. She heard that album that I have that on. She said, I don't think you ought to put that song on it. Anyhow, here's one kind of a pretty love song. It's a real old song, but a lot of folks do it still. And I just like to try my hand at it. I still miss someone. At my door, the leaves are falling. The cold wild wind will come. Sweethearts walk by together, and I still miss someone. I go out on a party, I look for a little fun, but I find a darkened corner, 'cause I still miss someone. No, I never got over those blue eyes. I see them everywhere. I miss those arms that held me when her love was mine to share. And I wonder if she's sorry for leaving what we'd begun. There's someone for me somewhere, and I still miss someone. I never got over those blue eyes. I see them everywhere, and I miss those arms that held me when her love was mine to share. I wonder if she's sorry for leaving what we'd begun. You know there's someone for me somewhere, and I still miss someone. I still miss someone. All right, I still miss someone, and I want to do another song, kind of deviate from the set list today. I write songs about cars. I've got one called Two Fat Guys in a Hudson Hornet, and I've got one called Roscoe Thompson's 1950 GMC, and I've also got one called my 1962 Dodge Dart. Let me see if I can do this song for you like this. When the old speedometer finally died, it read 65,000 for the fourth time in my 1962 Dodge Dart. By Christmas 1961, I knew I had to have me one, a 1962 Dodge Dart. Then in 1969, I bought one from a friend of mine, a two-tone green, main machine, 62 Dodge Dart. It didn't look too good in traffic, but that engine was a classic, and 17 years it never once failed to stop. I was feeling rubber and shifting gears. I polluted most of the atmosphere with my 1962 Dodge Dart. Try your horn, Michelle. Tubeless tires and the trailer hitch. I broke the key off and the switch had to touch two wires together to make it start. Slanted six, push button drive, I'd cruise along about 85 in an oil burning, piston churning, 62 Dodge Dart. When the rust stayed out the floorboard, I could look down and see the hard road. Had to put on rubber boots when the rain would start. Yeah, and at Christmas time I had it made. I drove it in the town parade, tossing candy from my old Dodge Dart. Rev it up, Michelle. Oh, holy octane, Michelle. One day I stopped out by the lake. I forgot to set the brake. I didn't think to put it down in park. I heard the engine begin to sputter. When I looked back, she was going under, sinking down in a pool of water. Was my old Dodge Dart. They came out with the wrecker. They pulled her from the river. The engine was still idling in that car. Well, happy times must end, they say. I'd still be driving that car today, but someone stole my 62 Dodge Dart. Yeah, they carjacked my 62 Dodge Dart. My 1962 Dodge Dart. Song. Well, let me get my other guitar over here and do an instrumental for you. This is an old song about an Indian maiden, and got some beautiful words to it, which I never bothered to learn. But let's see if we can play a little song called "Red Wing" on the guitar. Let me do you a song now about an old miner, a man who worked in the mines in Kentucky, and he was also a preacher. This song was written by Merle Travis. It's called Preacher Lane. Preacher Lane was just a miner in a little mountain town, and he daily faced the danger of his labors underground. But on Sunday at the meeting, all the miners' families came just to hear the gospel message preached by Preacher Lane. Oh, he didn't preach for money, earthly gain was not his lot. Leading sinners to the altar was the only pay he got. But when they count the blessings that he brought his fellow man, Preacher Lane will have a mansion in the glory land. Many times an injured miner filled with fright and racked with pain. In the midst of all his suffering, he would call for Preacher Lane, who would humbly kneel beside him, and the Lord would hear his prayer, while great peace would fall upon the injured miner there. Oh, he didn't preach for money, earthly gain was not his lot. Leading sinners to the altar was the only pay he got. But when they count the blessings that he brought his fellow man, Preacher Lane will have a mansion in the glory land. Now I learned about the Savior, he who walked upon the sea. Yes, the Son of God who died upon the cross of Calvary. From a man who was a miner and a preacher on the side, a man who surely went to heaven on the day he died. For he didn't preach for money, earthly gain was not his lot. Leading sinners to the altar was the only pay he got. But when they count the blessings that he brought his fellow man, Preacher Lane will have a mansion in the glory land. Preacher Lane will have a mansion in the glory land.
Well, it looks like the old watch has caught up with us, and it's time for us to pack up our gear and get out of here for another week and let some of the programming come on. Don't forget our underwriters, the Harper Run Communication Arts, a business-to-business communication, and a grant from the Northern Indiana Bluegrass Music Association from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Until next week at this same time, this is D.G. Davenport saying good night to you, and be good to one another. You couldn't be good to a nicer person. Bye.
Red Wing.